Well, hello, and thanks for joining us. Today we are here with Dr. Kathleen Ives, and she is the Acting Chief Executive Officer at the Sloan Consortium. So, Kathleen, can you tell us a little bit about you and your background and how you came to be in this position?
Sure. I actually started in the corporate world. I worked for AT&T, Verizon, and CBS, mostly in the areas of new technology. But it was when I went back for my doctorate, the only way I could do it was through an online program that I became fascinated by not only the technology but the pedagogy and online education, and candidly kind of reinvented myself. I actively sought out positions in online education, which eventually led me here to the Sloan Consortium.
So, what exactly is the Sloan Consortium for people who don't know what this nonprofit organization does?
Sure. Well, as you mentioned, it is a nonprofit. It was founded by the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation in the early 90s. And the reason it was founded is at the time online education was just emerging, and the foundation felt that an organization should exist to help colleges and universities become more proficient at functioning in this new field. So today the organization essentially carries through that mission, and they do that with their scholarly journals, their conferences, their online programs, which consists of the Sloan-C Institute, which houses a teaching certificate program and various webinars, their Institute for Engaged Leaders in Online Learning. So all of these programs are a way to, again, help colleges and universities become more skilled at launching and sustaining online education.
So you've been the Acting Chief Executive Officer since September of last year.
Yes.
What changes have you seen sort of emerge within the organization since that time frame?
We really try to be very member-focused. Again, being a nonprofit, we have a mission to serve our members. So to that end, we listen to our members, and let me give you a couple of examples. Last year, we launched 2 Mastery workshop series. These are online workshops, and we did that because our members said they wanted to delve more into topics more deeply, other than our normal workshops, which are 10 days, but provide a very passing, if good, but very passing glimpse into different elements of online education. The Mastery series turned out to be so successful that we've launched 3 more this year. A second thing that we did was with our online teaching certificate. We found that graduates of our certificate program wanted more. So we launched an advanced teaching certificate program, which actually we're launching at our Emerging Technologies Conference this week.
Wow, sounds like a lot of exciting stuff is going on.
Exactly.
Would you be willing to talk a little bit about different programs and different resources within the organization for people who might not know what they are?
Sure. So let's talk first about our conferences, since we're here at the Emerging Technologies Conference. This conference is really dedicated to educators who are using or want to know how to learn technology and be very proficient with it in the classroom. It sometimes can be really overwhelming as an online educator to be faced with all these tools. And this conference provides a venue where educators can network with each other and learn about what's out there and how to incorporate it, not just for technology's sake, but how to incorporate solid pedagogy around those technologies. The next conference that we will be holding is a blended conference. It's a blended conference and workshop, and that will be in Denver at the Sheraton downtown Denver in July 8th and 9th. And that focuses again on blended learning, and it actually not only attracts online higher educators, but it also attracts K through 12 educators who are also getting into blended and online learning. And then finally, our annual conference is held in Orlando at the Swan Dolphin Hotel, and that will be October 29th through 31st, and that offers a suite of information from anyone who is a novice in online education who's more expert, all different kinds of tracks, and it's really kind of a great place for individuals to really focus and learn about what's going on in online education. Then we have our publications, the Journal of Asynchronous Learning Networks. That recently has been given a rebrand, which we will be announcing in a few weeks. We have a new editor, Dr. Peter Shea, who's from Albany in New York, and we're really going back to our roots with the journal. We've been in a period of transition, and what our members have told us is that they really want not only peer-reviewed type of articles and research, but they also want practitioner-oriented articles and research, and that's what Peter's going to be focusing on this year. Then we have the Sloan-C Institute, and I touched briefly on the mastery workshops, but within the Institute we have our teaching certificate, which I also just touched briefly on. It's a 9-week program. This is the foundation certificate that a faculty member can go through the program, be assigned a mentor, and really get one-on-one coaching as they go through and design their own course. In addition to the foundation program, they can specialize by taking 3 workshops and, again, really hone their skills for their final presentation and their certificate. Then we have the advanced certificate program, which again is being launched in a face-to-face format here at the conference, but will carry on online and actually allows those who are more proficient to go even deeper into transforming their online courses. We also offer various webinars on different topics. We did a very successful military webinar about military students and how to better service them, and we'll be doing more webinars this year, and you can obviously go to our website, sloanconsortium.org, to begin to see some of the products that we're offering with regards to webinars. Another product that we offer is called the Quality Scorecard. The scorecard is a tool that enables institutions to better evaluate the effectiveness of their online programs. We launched that several years ago. This year, at this conference actually, we will be announcing version 2, for lack of a better term right now, that has additional indicators, 75 to be exact, and really reflects the currentness of online education through the efforts of Dr. Kay Shelton, who actually began the Quality Scorecard as part of her dissertation. It's really taken off, not just domestically, but we've also translated the scorecard into Spanish, and it's being used by colleges and universities in Latin America. And Kay has made numerous trips overseas, both to Saudi Arabia and to Europe, and actually will begin moving the scorecard out there as well.
So what about effective practices? Can you tell us a little bit about those and how they operate?
Sure. Effective practices are really community-generated, a community-generated program. In other words, we actively solicit faculty to come up with what they're doing well at their university and to share it with other practitioners. There's a place on our website that they can actually provide their submissions, and we actually offer awards for those effective practices. In fact, at the Blended Conference, we are looking for and currently accepting solicitations for best practices in blended online education, or blended education, excuse me. And the deadline's May 15th, so anybody that's interested most certainly should submit those, again, by going to our website, sloanconsortium.org.
And so the past ones, those are searchable online as well, correct?
That's correct, and you can go as a faculty member, as a instructional designer, and look for those practices. You can sort them and find ones that apply to maybe an issue that you're grappling with in your course. Maybe it's dealing with difficult students, or maybe it's how to design an effective syllabus. This is the type of information that you can get by looking at the best practices section on our website.
And those are broken down by pillars, and we haven't talked about the 5 pillars. What is the framework? How was that designed? How does that help the whole online concept?
The 5 pillars were a framework that originally was established through the efforts of Frank Mayatis, who was the founding president of the Sloan Consortium, in conjunction with our chief learning officer at the time. And they basically comprise what we feel are the 5 elements of quality. And again, effective practices, when someone submits an effective practice, we ask them to look at our website, look at the 5 pillars, and categorize where that practice falls. It might fall under one of the criteria is student satisfaction. It might fall under learning effectiveness or faculty satisfaction or scalability. So again, that's kind of where the pillars ties into all that. And candidly, we really try to base all of our products and services around the 5 pillars of quality.
So there's definitely a lot going on, lots of different areas of the organization. What changes do you foresee happening coming up for the remainder of 2014 and into 2015?
There are a couple of changes that I can talk about. One is pretty fundamental to the organization. We'll be changing our brand. And the reason that we're changing our brand is under our agreement with the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation, and as I mentioned when we started this discussion, that the foundation provided us the seed money to start this organization. And it was agreed that when we became a fully sustainable organization that we would create a new identity. So we're in the process of doing that now. We've engaged community members, board members, staff, vendors, outside marketing experts, as well as people not really involved in our field to help us through that process. We're getting pretty close, and we hope to launch the new name at the Blended Conference in July. You will also see some changes with our Institute for what used to be called our Institute for Emerging Leaders in Online Learning. The name has been changed to the Institute for Engaged Leaders in Online Learning, and that's because we're finding that more of the leaders that are interested in that program are actually leaders in their own organization, and it's not so much emerging anymore when we started the program 5 years ago. That program currently is full for this year, but we will be accepting applications for the program, which starts in a few weeks and culminates at our conference in Orlando. Applications usually open in January or February of the year. That program will also have a new workshop at our annual conference that will be for alumni and the current class. It's an all-day workshop. It's a mastery workshop that, again, we listened to the graduates from the program who said we want something more. We want to have some really solid and engaged discussion with our fellow leaders, and so that'll be happening. I talked a little bit about Latin America and the scorecard. We're also working with several organizations in Latin America to adopt our programs and services for that market. And again, this will be a wonderful prototype for us moving into other areas of international opportunity. So those are a few things that are keeping us busy and candidly keeping me up at night.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like there's always something to do. And balancing all of that. So when you think about conferences, mm-hmm. I mean, as part of the Sloan-C staff, it's always an exciting time to see all of our members. Why do you think that people come to conferences? What benefits can they get?
Well, I know we do surveys, and I know from surveys that people feel it's not just the programming, although that's definitely what brings them here. It's the community events and being able to talk and to network. It's really nice. I mean, I used to work at a community college, and you sometimes get into groupthink when you're really with the own members of your college and you're trying to test out new ideas and products and services, to come to a conference and get another perspective, see what other people are doing. And again, coming from corporate, which can tend to be a little bit cutthroat, I was always amazed when I moved into academia how open they are with sharing their best practices and new ways of doing things. And I really think that that's another key reason that people come to these conferences is to talk, to share, and to learn.
And so throughout the conference, we definitely see you everywhere, from keynote speakers to plenaries to awards luncheons. I mean, you're definitely a very busy woman. Time's booked. Mm-hmm. What are you most looking forward to in the next few days?
I'm looking forward to what I think our members are looking forward to is talking to people such as yourself, really finding out what's going on in online education. But the other reason that I love these conferences is I can really find out from the members how we can be more effective at servicing them. Are there programs that they'd like to see us offer, or are there programs they'd like to see us change? What do they think about the conference? How could we make it even better the next year? So it's really engaging with the community on a variety of levels, from a pedagogical and technological perspective, but also from finding out how we can continue to serve our members more effectively.
So if someone's watching this after the conference, which oftentimes people run into videos, and they want to get you feedback or suggestions or advice, what's the best way to get that information to you?
I would say email me. I'm available, and my current email address is kives@sloanconsortium.org, but when we rebrand, my email address is on our website, and people can find me, and I'd love to hear from them directly.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for sharing all the excitement going on within the organization and the upcoming changes.
Thank you for having me.